A while ago I did a video on the Mysterious Mr. Enter, a $350,000 project to make an animation. I took a positive outlook on the project. I mean, Mr. Enter learning firsthand about what goes into making your own animation and discovering what it takes to be the content creator, not just the critic. Yeah, I know, being a critic is still very much content, and it still takes a lot of love and effort. But yeah, expending your horizons for something that seemed like a well enough idea. I recall a couple weeks back seeing some fans who did some brief fan animations for Growing Around, which is more than I can say for, well, the real GoFundMe. Sadly, I can't find those short brief clips anymore. Anywho, I understand the first time through I may have been a little too positive. Sure, giving someone a chance to grow, learn, and become a better human being are all good things, but the Mysterious Mr. Enter could just as easily do that with a library card or a gym membership, and it wouldn't cost $350,000. The big critique I'd take to the table is they're simply put more experienced animators asking for far less, for more original, far more better looking and sounding ideas that already have voice actors on display. The animation I'm looking forward to in this case is called Has Been Hotel. I'm probably screwing that up. It's by VisiPop, and judging by the 2.6 million views, there's a fairly good chance some of you are looking forward to it as well.
As most of you know, I was born here in Hell, and growing up I always tried to see the good in everything around me. Hell is my home, and you are my people. We just went through another extermination. We lost so many souls, and it breaks my heart to see my people being slaughtered every year. No one is even given a chance.
Now, I'm going to include a link to VisiPop's Patreon at the top of the video description. Now, sadly, I can't tell you how much VisiPop is making. Their Patreon numbers are hidden, but I can tell you that they have 789 patrons. Now, judging by another patron I know who has about 910 patrons, that equals about $3,500, we might assume that Vivzy is roughly making $2,000 to $3,000 per month. This is just an educated guess. Even if VisiPop was making $3,500 per month, that would be 1/10 of the cost. With Has Been Hotel having a release date next year, we're looking at $42,000 in 12 months. And this is far from an inexperienced hand. VisiPop has another viral hit, it's called Die Young, and has well over 40 million hits. I do apologize if you sat through all that. You're probably now a furry. You're free to hate me in the comments down below. Now, sadly, the longest animation I found on VisiPop's channel was about 5 minutes and 34 seconds, which is a far cry from the 22 to 26 minute mark. But the thing is, VisiPop knows what they're doing, and presumably isn't going to make 22 minutes or longer because that's what everyone else is doing. I can see their success and their fully animated example that's asking for just barely over 1/10 of the price, and no, this will be a better project to invest in.
Why didn't you show any animation in your pitch video? The short answer is, I didn't want to have to make an Indiegogo pitch for an Indiegogo pitch. The pitch video itself cost me over $500, including the storyboards, the editing, the music. If you want to count the model sheets the characters are based on, that's a lot more too. If it was fully animated, it would cost thousands on top of what I already made.
There are all fair points, but with this in mind, John, the Mysterious Mr. Enter, wouldn't people just be better off investing with an animator who can make their own pilot? Look, don't get me wrong. Growing Around would be a well enough good show for a network, considering some of the crap that's out there. But in VisiPop's case with Has Been Hotel, if that doesn't get funded, nothing like it will likely ever happen. However, with Growing Around, where kids are in charge of the adults, I mean, supposedly this idea was semi-boosted in the first place. My question here is, why do we need John Enter for this project? Change some names, change some things about the project, enough where the intellectual and legal distinctions are different, change the places, get someone, with all due respect, who has less baggage and more experience. I mean, if I were a TV executive, I would imagine these would be some of my suggestions.
Do you really think that a Patreon will really fund additional episodes? It's a hope. I'm going to be honest. I'm not pretending that anything but the pilot is guaranteed. That is what the Indiegogo is for. It is for the pilot alone. There is a possibility of more episodes, especially if we overshoot our goal.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This is why I'm really here. $350,000 for a full season sounds a whole lot better than what we'd be paying for what appears to be John Enter paying for a pitch to make for one episode. So, and this is just my crazy theory, so he can shill it to a network. If you're telling me every episode costs this much, you're either flubbing the facts on what you're intending, or I don't know how to finish that sentence without insulting you. Conversely, back to VisiPop.
So that's what this project aims to achieve. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm opening the first of its kind, a hotel that rehabilitates sinners.
What in the 9 circles makes you think a single denizen of hell would give 2 shits about becoming a better person?
I'd like to be honest with you. I already forgot the lead character's name, but I'm still on board. Like, that's 24 seconds into the trailer. That world looks immersive, lived in, whimsical, kind of horrifying, but I want to know more about it. You can only get that across to an audience with showing and letting them watch and listen. The mysterious Mr. Enter could be the most trustworthy person in the world, and VisiPop could be the worst. He's not, and VisiPop is not the worst. We live in a world that's show don't tell. If a pilot like this is going to cost you $10,000, I suggest paying up $10,000. You talked up this project like it was a dream, and dreams only come true when you really commit to them. Now, if you don't believe me, look at John's GoFundMe, or his Indiegogo, my mistake, closed down. It was about $10,000. Not even a 1/5 of the way there.
Redeeming quality, helping friends with stuff, not with turf wars that result in territorial genocide. You win some, you lose a few hundred.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Apparently, neither is John. In John Enter's case, the best story being told about the plucky, young, bright-eyed upstart with the can-do attitude is the guy who screams at everything that's behind the scenes, has been getting by on more of a deconstructive talent versus being a creator. John talks about his team throughout his video, but I never hear anyone's name. Now, normally this would be where I would get pissed off about not putting over your staff. Don't worry, that does still piss me off, but you talk about your dream, your vision, you. I'd argue you would have been immensely more sympathetic and appealing if you put out some ultra cuddly artist out there, start pushing on how they're starving. Trust me, I've been doing it for years now. Speaking of which, cheap plug to many of my artists, from Dog Eye Crimson to Lilac Galaxy and Androgynous Garbage. Please hit them all up. I'll leave their commission information down below. In case you've noticed by now, I made this video as a chance more to gush about how some things are done right and by all rights deserve to be successful. Some projects don't have to tell you that they're filled with bright, fun, and original ideas. It blasts them in your face and hopefully blows your mind. And you know what? After watching Hazbin Hotel, I decided to Patreon VisiPop. I don't wish to just see one episode of this. It looks like it would be a great and amazing series. The more support you get, you'll never know, but we won't know if they don't take that first step. That's what great animation does. It leaves you wanting more even before you get what you're supposed to and what's coming down the pipe. Whereas in Growing Around, I have a polite interest, moreover, to see if something could succeed, and only that sustains me till I realize there's just way more deserving people who should get my money. What do you think, guys? Would you toss money at VisiPop for your hard-earned muns? I know I will. Take care.